Hey everybody, welcome to Side Quest, the episodes that occur between the games that which you know the podcast. I am Drew Hayes. Joining me today are John Hartness, Rick Gualteri, and Robert Bevan.
Hello,
Howdy, howdy.
friends.
Hey nerds, what's up?
Oh, a great many things. Let's see, how's everything going? Anybody have anything they want to plug up top?
Got a new shingles.
Oh,
The little arsonist girl. Most of you haven't gotten it yet, so go get it.
That cover is profoundly disturbing.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to next month's cover. Also,
Oh
me.
God.
Speaking of shingles, this is a pretty good time to mention that E.M. Kaplan is doing a 25 days of shingles on her various social media accounts.
I think it's 12
in which
days.
she-
Yeah, I think it's 12 days. She did
12 days.
She did 25 days last year.
That's right. She's doing 12 days of shingles on her various social media accounts where she reads, gives reviews, engages with folks. So if you know Ian Kaplan, if you've been curious about shingles, or if that just sounds fun, that's something you should probably check out.
If you have random itchy spots that you think might be shingles, wait, this is a different thing.
Then buy our paperbacks and rub it on your skin. It probably won't help, but we'll appreciate the sale.
Couldn't hoit. No, it definitely could hurt. It could very much hoit.
Yeah, you could get paper cuts in uncomfortable places.
Rub some Boner Bob's all-purpose lube on it first.
I really just want some of this excess inventory off my bookcases since I haven't had conventions in 2020. So, yeah, buy paperbacks.
They make great holiday gifts.
For people you never want to see again.
All right, I have a few things of my own to plug that are not E.M. Kaplan related. First off, if you are an audiobook fan, as you are listening to this, the Fred #1 has come out from Graphic Audio. That involves a full cast, sound effects, background music, just a lot of small touches that make it a unique listening experience. And they are going to be doing a few of them. We've got the first one out, so that is available. And then available for pre-order right now is the sequel to Villain's Code, Bones of the Past, which is coming out December 23rd.
Woo.
There, I have a date at last.
Nice.
And if you're listening to them on Audible, Drew probably won't get paid for them.
I'll touch on this. The audiobook, again, will not be for several months. If you're wondering why it takes so long, hey, go back and listen to the side quest with Amy Landon, where we talk about the narration and the time frame process.
I mean, we could all do simultaneous releases if you guys would front us the money for 6 months and wait until we have a production lag long enough to get stuff set up that way.
Yeah,
We're happy to do it. You just go ahead and pay us for 6 months worth of royalties.
John moves a lot of books.
No takers? It's like literally almost the first comment every time I post a new release. Is there an audiobook?
Yes.
Well,
Eventually.
I have a new record, and I can't really blame anybody. It's 100% COVID related, but Bent on Destruction, which came out quite a while ago, is finally on audio, mainly because it just kept getting delayed. You know, people were busy. Then we got COVID. Then nobody had like a booth to record in, and finally, it's out there.
Nice.
Woo.
I don't have any new audio. I have the next Harker will be out in, I think, February, assuming nothing else in the world catches fire. Because, yeah, Inflection Point took a long time to hit for all those same reasons that your Get Bent got delayed.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess I should also add that if you listen to the graphic audio of the Fred series and think, hey, this would go really well with superpowers, guess who agreed with you and has some coming out in 2021.
Oh, cool.
Thank you. Oh yeah, on the weird, when is the audiobook questions, I've gotten a few people who've asked me in relation to the graphic audio one if these are going to somehow replace the old one, which is a weird question. And no, obviously no.
I think it's great. I haven't listened to the original Fred audio. I've read it. I read the ebook, but I might pick up the graphic audio if we ever get to a point where I'm driving anywhere ever and can listen to audiobooks again.
I think it's great to offer people options.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so with Villains Code 2 coming out, did you manage to rein in your motor mouth to a point that you can do a print version of this that doesn't run up against the maximum page count for Ingram?
Now, to be fair, that was only Superpowered's year 4. Forging Hephaestus had a paperback. And yes, this one is still under that limit, but it is also substantially bigger than the first Villains Code book. It's on par with, it's around Superpowered's year 3 in length, which is hard to really say. Like, a word count of 350,000 doesn't really convey much, so I'll say this. Superpowered's year 3, the audiobook was around 48 hours. So that, I think, conveys a sense of
someday someone is going to build a house and the building materials will 100% be Drew Hayes paperbacks.
Yeah. That is roughly equivalent to Quincy Harker 1 through 3.
I got curious last week, and I looked up the word count for the Bible, because that's always just like the standard go-to of like the long book, and I really wanted to see it. About 737,000 in the King James. Of course, there's different versions, so there's going to be some fluctuation there.
So Superpowered's year 3 and 4.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, I have crushed that. It was very weird.
With almost as much death and destruction in your books, but not quite.
Oh, well, Villains Code 2 hasn't come out yet.
That's true.
All right, we should probably move away from the plug adjacent stuff and sashay into, something a little more meaty and universal. Writing softwares.
Yeah.
So to set a little background for this one, we have been in discussions lately, just for various reasons, about different softwares that we're using for outlining, production, writing, etc. Now,
I'm going to go take a
in the
nap.
writing, this is only the bonus action. Don't worry, we get out of it soon. But it is something that comes up because you'll see a lot of hyperbole and a lot of devotees of different softwares that will say, you have to have this, you must have this, this is essential. And we thought it would be valid to, take a minute and kind of break down, well, how essential? Like, what are some of the more common ones you might hear that refrain on? And is it really essential? Is there a viable alternative? Just something from people who are using it and don't necessarily have a vested interest either way.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless it's called Oxygen, I would say it's not essential.
I mean, you need a word processing program. That's pretty essential.
You need Word. Because of track changes and the editorial process, you need Microsoft Word. Because none of the shit that saves as docx files really does carry all the formatting over.
Yeah, I mean, people will die on the hill of like Google Docs, and
you can die on that hill if you want, but if you're publishing with me, you're going to pay $10 a month for fucking Microsoft Word. At least for the months that you're sending me manuscripts. I will not accept anything that is transferred from another program because it never works out right.
You know what I like is that, I mean, a lot of people, and they rightfully so, hate Microsoft, but I actually like the Office 365 or whatever they're calling it these days subscription, because it's like $99 a year and you get a shit ton of licenses. It's not like you just get one. I mean, every computer here, I mean, I could kick any of my kids off their computer at any time and sit down and like have a copy of Word.
I did a whole office at one of my old jobs off one subscription because it was 5 licenses.
Yeah. That's not even including if you have an iPad or or a Mac or so.
Yeah. I use a 9-year-old Korean version of Word.
And you know what? It works because it's Word.
Well, as someone who works with freelancers a fair bit, one of the things I will agree with, you have to deal with Word, is because that is the ubiquitous program. Like, you might have another program that you would enjoy writing on, but at the end of the day, I know I can give any editor a Word file and they will be able to process it. If I sent them a Scrivener file or whatever, I don't know, fucking throwing stones at maybe they happen to know it and care to use it. Like,
Right.
but Word is just the default. It is assumed that you are competent if you work in it.
Word is what editorial is done. It's how editorial is done. Pure. It's just the industry. You need to be able to like you said, you need to be able to give your files to people to work on.
Yeah.
And I don't write in Word. I write in Scrivener, but then I convert everything to Word.
So yeah, okay, let's go into Scrivener next, because that's one that comes up a lot, and I just started messing with it fairly recently. I do not ever see myself writing in Scrivener. Now, some of that's just I'm an old man and I get set in my ways, but there's nothing about that word processor that makes it feel more functional or fluid than Word. That said, I love the outlining functions of Scrivener. It's probably one of the best outlining tools I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, the corkboard top kind of stuff.
The corkboard, the way you can layer different informations, the way you can code it, the way you can set chapters and scenes and easily rearrange them, the way you can track characters. It's just got a lot of complexity or a lot of ease depending on what you need. And for outlining, I think that's a good balance to walk.
Yeah, for me, the reason I write in it is because I make a separate scene for each chapter, and then I can jump back and forth. Oh wait, what was that guy's name like 2 chapters ago? And it's just easier to bounce back and forth because I keep forgetting what I do.
Yeah, I tried to grab a free version a while back or the trial version to write, and I kind of wanted to claw my eyes out, and I don't see myself buying it just to outline.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep it past the trial. My outlining software is Excel. Shocker, I know.
My outlining software is the back of old business cards. I actually outline by hand.
Oh, vintage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't outline.
Bob is above it.
He goes into that 9-year-old version of Word and tries to put bullet points, and it just has no idea what he's talking about.
No, I really would like to outline because I could get so much more done, but I've tried and it's just, I can't. I don't know how.
Some people can't work that way.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
No, there's a lot wrong with it. I want to. It would increase my productivity.
I rebuilt the way I outline after I read the book Save the Cat.
Yeah.
That's what switched me over to doing the back of business cards, and then I lay them out in 4 rows on my desk, and I move things around until all the scenes are where they need to be.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't think and see. I just want, like, it feels presumptuous of me to assume I know what these characters are gonna do.
You're the god of your world. Of course, you know what they're
No,
not going to do anything
like,
you don't tell them to do.
No, I let them tell me. Like, that's the fun of the writing is
Yeah,
letting them surprise me.
I get that.
And,
The sense of discovery.
but I'll tell you, Bobby, Bob, because I like probably half my stuff, and then I pants the other half. Even when I outline, they just go off script 99.9% of the time. The outline winds up being like a roadmap, but it's like a roadmap that could just take me off a cliff at any time.
My outlines are usually like a sentence per chapter, but I have a real kind of mechanical way that I lay out a book. I know how long I want the book to be. My chapters are between 2,000 and 2,500 words long, so if I'm writing a 90,000 word book, I lay out 45 chapters. And then and then usually I lay out 44 chapters because that breaks out into 4s easily. So at the 25% mark, I put an act break, and there's got to be something big that happens there.
See, I kind of envy that.
At the 50% mark, there's another big action. At the 75% mark, we kick it into Act 3, and then I usually leave myself 2 or 3 chapters at the end to wrap shit up.
I don't deserve to have this career.
Like, I envy that because I know a lot of thriller writers and stuff. They do that. They kind of have like a writing formula that they follow for, like, for their books and stuff. And I've tried that, and my problem is I have a really, really shitty attention span. And the second I get bored, I stop paying attention. And that's kind of why, like, that's kind of why my writing process is such chaos, because that keeps it interesting for me.
Oh, I see that. I mean, the fact that I'm ADHD as fuck is why I can do that kind of structure, because then I'm just like, okay, I can write this tiny chunk and I've completed something. I'm done with this chapter. Done. Go play video games.
Hmm.
I
But
like my sort of in between on I need to know where things are going. I need to know my endings. I need to know my major plot points. But then I kind of just only use those as the checkpoints, like the markers between, and I leave myself that freedom to write between them, so I can have that sense of discovery with the characters. But also, it's like, all right, you assholes have to get here. Now you can decide how you get here, but you have to get here.
That's
Yeah,
kind of
I-
what
yeah.
I do. I do occasionally have an ending in mind, and then, and even when I don't, you know, about halfway through the book, I know how it's going to end. But yes, it's the plotting in between bits that stump me.
sometimes I just end up doing it a piece at a time. Like with the last Harker book, I outlined the first 25%, wrote that, then I outlined the second quarter,
Yeah.
and then I outlined the last half, and then wrote that.
I'm normally like Drew. Like, you know, I like to have like an end point. The only time that's failed me was with Goddamned Freaky Monsters, where I realized I was 100,000 words into it, and the end point I wanted was still another 80,000 words away, and I was just like, okay, we're changing the end point here.
It legitimately took me a minute to figure out the problem there.
That happened to me with the last Critical Failures book. The end point I wanted for that book is the one I'm going to go with for this book, the one I'm currently writing. Which, I'm going to get another 160, 180,000 words out of it. I'm glad I didn't try and go for it.
That's awesome.
All
It
right.
also helps because I think I write shorter than everybody else. So because I write in a tighter window, I kind of have to have it. I don't have enough. I don't have as much room to meander.
You're
And
writing a movie, and the rest of us are kind of writing TV series.
yeah,
There's a very different pace. Like, that's how I write a Shingles now, is I write it like I'm writing a movie, and I pace it very differently than I would pace a bigger book. And so, yeah, the more you condense down, the more you kind of have to really focus in on what are the core action beats, and action is in like plot, action, movement, etc.
Yeah, Bob and I are writing like, you know, like a 7-year series, and like Drew's writing all 25 like, you know, seasons of The Simpsons there.
I mean, but that is a little bit part of, I think, what helps make my book successful is the parasocial relationships that people form with the characters are that much stronger because they spend that much more time with them.
yeah. No, you're right, because you know, I was because I started my ongoing series as quick release novellas. People were able to spend that kind of time with them, a chunk here, a chunk there, a chunk there. So they spent a whole year with the characters. They just spent it stretched out.
See, I think there's also a difference, Drew. You tend to write likable characters. You know, a lot of the people I'm writing are assholes, so it's like after 100,000 words, I think a lot of people are like, "This was fun, but now I need a break from you."
You do have some dickheads in your books.
I just enjoy writing dickheads. I don't know why.
'Cause you're from Jersey.
Yeah, I have this weird thing where I just enjoy, like, not like terrible, like I mean like horrible, like people like pedophiles, but I mean just petty, awful people. Like people who would, like, you know, like an old lady who falls who falls down on the, like, it slips on ice and falls on, and they stand there and laugh. Those are the people I write.
I like writing
Yeah.
petty, awful people and pedophiles.
So what do you think about Scrivener?
I've never
I-
even seen it. I don't know. I've
Yeah,
heard of it.
don't care.
I use it, but I am not real evangelical about it, and I'm not. Somebody put me on a panel once at a convention about in-depth Scrivener tips and tricks. And the first thing I said was, I should be sitting in the audience for this, because I just know how to make chapters and write books, y'all. I don't know shit about in-depth anything. I think I use 5% of the program.
Yeah, 'cause there's some people out there they worship at the altar of Scrivener.
Yeah, you'll hear some people really preaching from the mountaintops, and it's not bad. It's fine. I like the outlining options. There's no way in hell I'm using it as a word processor.
Mm.
What they
Um,
did, though, that's really, really smart is they partnered with NaNoWriMo, and you get like a big discount for participating in NaNoWriMo on buying Scrivener. So,
and credit to them, it's a one-time fee. It's not
yeah,
a subscription, which I like. I do like that business practice. Sorry, Rick, I'm not being on the subscription model,
Oh, that's fine.
but
Normally,
I
I'm
like a
not
pay.
either.
I like a one and done, and it's not too bad. It's like $50. It's a very reasonable price for that level of program.
yeah. I mean, I think I've had to buy it twice because there was one version that they were like, guys, the upgrade was this damn big. You're just going to have to buy it again. And I'm like, fine, I've used it for like 4 years. I think I got my $40 worth out.
Ooh, okay. So according to John, they are sketchy, so don't trust them.
That's what I took from that too.
Yeah, buy a lifetime license. Buy another lifetime license.
Yeah, yeah. If you say one and done, it's one and done.
I mean, you could just continue to use your 9-year-old version of Scrivener too.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. They didn't discontinue it. They just didn't give you a free updated version.
Right.
I'm with you.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. That's a different kettle of fish.
Like my nephew who's been using Adobe CS5 for past 10 years. Finally now is having to spring for an upgrade because just can't do everything apparently in CS5 that you need to be able to do today.
Yeah, I was
don't know.
using CS2 for the longest time there, and then I finally just reached the point where it's just like it was almost on the screen like, no, I'm just not going to open this.
Okay, so that was some outlining ones. Let's move on to a publishing software that you are going to have as an ebook creator, because your other option is to pay a formatter, and
That would be
if you're
me.
doing that every single time you make every single change, you're going to want to learn at some
Are
point
you talking
in this
about
process.
Drew? Are you talking about paperback or ebook?
I'm just starting with ebook.
Okay, because ebook if you have Word, you can just upload a copy of a docx file.
I guess that's true now. I came up in the time when you still had to make your own shit
True, yeah.
because Amazon was like, "Fuck you." It's still good to have these on hand, and we're gonna get to the big one. But the first one is Calibre and oh god, what's the S one?
Sigil.
Sigil. There we go. I'm more of a Sigil guy, especially now because Sigil is a EPUB manipulator, and but Calibre is a very good conversion program.
Yeah.
There's another elephant in the room that we'll get to in a moment.
Well,
I did mine for the first 5 years I was doing it. I did them in Scrivener because Scrivener also exports Mobi and EPUB files.
Yeah.
what
Scrivener's
They're
a
not
really,
very pretty.
no, but
But
they work. They're good nuts and bolts programs. Like I always use Scrivener to double check my table of contents, to tweak my little details. Like it's a very functional, and it's a free program.
no, Scrivener, the word processor
Oh,
that we were just talking about.
Scrivener. Sorry,
Yeah.
crap. Sigil. I
Yes.
use
Yeah.
Sigil.
Yeah,
Too many S's, damn it.
You know the problem is if you don't know HTML code, Sigil is not super friendly.
Oh, I don't know HTML code, and I've never had a problem with it.
Maybe it's just the mode I have Sigil in, but
Or you also know HTML code.
well, that too. But
So
I keep a copy of Calibre on because I occasionally do like to use it for like conversion. But there's a free one from Amazon, and a lot of people don't like it, but I actually kind of like it. It's called Kindle Create.
Calibre is also free, should probably be mentioned.
True.
So Calibre and Sigil are my go-tos up until recently, because Calibre is my converter, because it converts great. It'll spit out EPUBs and Mobis, which aren't relevant anymore, but used to be very. And then I loved Sigil for going through, because there's, when you go from, when you take Calibra, you throw in a Word file and you spit out an ebook, there's always something wrong. There's a chapter break that didn't take, there's something that needs tweaking. And so Sigil, for getting in and fixing all that little stuff, was just a great, I don't know, I wouldn't say easy, but functional tool.
I mean, I've been using Kindle Create since it was in beta, and it's definitely no, it's definitely not a Scrivener killer or so. But what I like about it is, well, it's free. It requires it does require a little tweaking for each book. Like the longer the book, the longer it's going to take. The automation on it sucks, but it spits out Amazon's new KPF format, which is with their I don't know, dynamic fonts or whatever the fuck, enhanced typesetting and stuff. And my thoughts have always been, okay, this is an Amazon product meant for Amazon's marketplace, and I know in the past other people have been like, well, I've uploaded via this program, and now it's like, spitting back errors or so. I've never had a problem using this program. I've never had any formatting issues. It pretty much has been solid. They continue to add features to it. Again, it is no Scrivener. It is not a killer for any paid program, but for a free program, and especially if you're a KU author, it's pretty decent. It makes a very functional and usable ebook.
Bob, what's your software of choice? Yes.
Oh, I use a 9-year-old Korean Word.
No, for making your ebooks.
9-year-old Korean Word.
How do you generate the EPUB? Do you just throw it?
I slap it in KDP and they accept it.
Oh, man, I really didn't know you could just throw Word doc straight in these days.
I figured out the settings in book 1. They're all in Korean. I don't know what they mean, but I took a picture of it with my phone. And every book I write, I go and make sure the settings are identical to the first one.
How did that generate table of contents? Is it just
I don't have tables of contents.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But for paperbacks, I hire a guy. And whatever, even if I learn how to use other stuff myself, I like the little flair he puts in there. He puts pictures and little cute D20 page number things on the corners, and yeah, I'm gonna stick with him.
Cool. Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
And speaking as one of Bob's customers who's read the Caverns and Creatures books on my Kindle, the stuff he generates with his 9-year-old Korean Word that he has no idea what those settings say look just fine.
Oh, good. Thank you for saying that. I was getting concerned for a second there.
No, they look fine.
Right.
I literally just called one up on my phone as you were talking. I'm like, I remember them looking pretty good.
Yeah, it is kind of amazing if you think about it, because I've seen some really fucked up formatted books out there, and the fact that you can just upload directly from an old version of that old of a version of Word, it's just kind of almost says, okay, what are people doing to screw this up?
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, because it's an old version, because it's the same version I've been using, nothing changes.
Yeah.
Once you get the settings figured out, then there it is.
There's no drop caps. There's nothing fancy, but
no,
it's perfectly readable and does look better. I've gotten books from New York publishers that were fucked up.
Yeah. I am not a fan of drop caps. Drop caps in any HTML format, which pretty much is what an ebook is, there is always a chance that drop caps are going to get fucked up.
And for the listeners at home who might not know what a drop cap is,
yes, for them,
it's what you'll find at the beginning of every chapter of every Shingles book, because I do the formatting.
Like the big first letter?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
For you listeners at home.
Because I format those and Rick doesn't get a vote.
Yeah, it's fair. He who does the formats makes the choice.
Yep.
It's the same reason Steve makes us say all kinds of weird shit in the edits every week.
Yeah. I don't actually have a chicken in my home, but Steve put it on the edits, so now I have a chicken.
Sorry, go John.
I'm really expecting Steve to insert a chicken noise here.
I guess this is a test of how closely he's listening.
Not really,
Pause for
because I'm not
chicken
going to
silence.
listen. He can just tell me he put a fucking chicken noise in there. I'll never know.
All right, listeners, make sure to tag John in social media with hashtag chicken noise or hashtag no chicken noise.
God damn it. I have only myself to blame.
So the good news for that is that all of those softwares that we just talked about, with the exception of Bob's old version of Word, are free. The Kindle Create one, Sigil, and Calibre. All of those publishing tools are free. They are available, I think, for multiple formats. So if you want to create an ebook and you want to do it, with as much or as little, efforts, in terms of like adding the bells and whistles, it's all there, it's all free, it's all available. That said, there are options higher up the price tier that do come with more bells and whistles and smoothness. And with that, I think we have to talk about Vellum, which is another one that you will hear a lot of people who have a very strong opinion about.
Yeah, well, we're three of us are on this call.
Yeah, I've
You're the
been
newest convert, so
I've been messing with it because when I was looking through the shingles, actually, I was looking at all the stuff you had added so seamlessly and everything, and I've been trying to find ways to improve my business and what I can do, since I can't really write more. I'm trying to just add levels of polish where I can.
also Drew was trying to figure out, he's like, I know he's doing something, because from the time I tell him it's uploaded to the time I get the files, it's like less than an hour. What the hell?
Yeah, like for me, I had to send him something for a reformat, and I was like, I'm so sorry about it. I was like, yeah, it's no problem. And it came right back. I was like, that would have been 2 hours for me. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And so so I started looking into Vellum. And I used a service called Mac and Cloud that allows you to test out certain programs. Oh, this is a thing to mention.
A big
Vellum
thing.
is Mac only, and that
Susie.
is a big limit. Because they are not changing it anytime soon by their own website. So if you don't own a Mac, your
That's the
options are
big
to.
expense.
That's the big expense. There's a thing called Mac and Cloud that allows you to use basically a Mac on your PC via like an off-service thing. Now, I didn't pay for the fanciest plan, but it ran like a horse in a vat of molasses for me. So there were some usability issues with that service. Again, higher tiers, there might have been more options, but so yeah, but the Vellum is really nice. I mean, I have spent a lot of years learning how to make ebooks, obviously by necessity, and the amount of style and flourish versus effort and time to add it is mind-boggling for someone coming from the way I used to produce.
Yeah, it's like somebody took something like Adobe InDesign and said, "Why don't we make this so normal people can use it?"
I think that's exactly what they did.
Hmm.
I think they were like, okay, InDesign does all this shit. We want to make books.
Hmm.
We want to specifically create, and when they started, it was pretty much, we want to specifically make novels. Because when it started, it was a real son of a bitch to create an anthology in Vellum. Because making table of contents and all that was a bitch. But over the past 2 years, they've really upgraded a lot of those features because people have been emailing them, telling them, look, this is a son of a bitch to do. Please fix it. And they have. They've rolled out a lot of things that make it a lot easier to create anthologies in Vellum. It's stupid easy. I mean, it literally, from the time I get the notification of, okay, the file is in the Google Drive, to me pushing out the final files for print and ebook, it's usually about 30 minutes. And most of that is me scrolling through the entire book to make sure I haven't missed any section breaks, because they look funny if you have sometimes they're extra hard returns for various things, and they
Yeah.
look funny if you don't
I caught that once
make
in a
them.
shingles book you formatted.
Yeah. Yeah, you found one that I had missed, and I went back in and took out the extra hard return. But yeah, that's most of the time, is going through and making sure that those things look good, especially since I've now got a document on my desktop that says shingles template, because I do one a month for 3 years.
So yeah, it is a program that does what it promises in the sense that it offers you stylish, easy to make, very. I mean, we were talking before the call about how hard it used to be to get stuff into Ingram Spark, which is the other printer who'll do like hardbacks and stuff. And you know, I was even asking John, can I really just export the print book and it'll be good for Ingram? Because that is so unheard of. Like
And the
that,
answer is yes.
there are people who specialized in formatting your novel for Ingram. Like that was a skill set that some book formatters would advertise.
Yeah. And they were not cheap.
No, and they were necessary.
Yes, they were. And if you wanted any kind of drop caps or custom scene dividers or custom scene headers or insert a map anywhere, that was all extra. That's
Oh
all
yeah,
super easy now.
insanely easy. So that said, now we are talking about a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of frills. Does a book not need to have them? Absolutely not. Certainly no. Your book is not lesser if you're not gonna get a Mac and spend the cost of Vellum, which is $200, $250 if you want to do prints. So not cheap, very not cheap.
But is that a one-time thing or a subscription?
Yes,
All right.
that is a one and done.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Especially since it sounds like I mean, I don't know them personally, but from what you guys are saying, they will listen to their customers' needs and adapt.
Yeah, they're very accessible.
I really appreciate that, and something, especially if it's something that's one and done.
Yeah, when they they didn't offer print to begin with, so that was a new piece of software, and that was another one of those. Okay, you kind of have to buy the whole thing
Yeah,
because we rebuilt it from the ground up. I was like, okay, fine, whatever.
yeah, if you publish a lot of books, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I publish pretty much a book a week, so
Now, if you are a publisher like John, that investment is very justifiable.
I think anybody who puts out who puts out 4 or more books a year, it will earn
So
back what you're spending on you'll save the cost of the software in layout within probably 2 years, as if you don't have to buy a Mac.
Well, I'm not a Mac person, but this Christmas my daughter is due for a computer, and yeah, it might be worth going that way. Just to have some open options.
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice. Like I said, I would never tell someone they needed to buy it. I would never couch it as that. I'm at a point where I'm looking for places to add polish, and that's what kind of led me to this point. John is a publisher. He has a lot of books
Yeah.
coming through. It's a time and effort
Oh
saver.
no, you're preaching to the choir. I mean, I'm Captain Cheap.
Yeah, it's great. It is great. It's definitely not necessary.
Yeah. I and for me it was a cost benefit analysis. I did the exact same thing you were doing, Drew, because I was creating my ebooks in Scrivener, which I already owned. So I was like, okay, well, I would like my ebooks to look nicer. Okay, do I want them to look nicer for $200? And I looked at how many books we were starting to produce, and I was like, yes, I do. And then when they added the print option, I was like, oh, well, this is a no-brainer. Because I was paying somebody, I don't remember what I was paying to get a print layout done, but it was it was practically nothing because I was hiring a friend, but it was still like $100 a book. It's like, oh, well, 3 books and it's paid for.
I have a question. I I don't know if this counts as software because I don't know what it is, but I hear Ingram being tossed around a lot. What the hell is Ingram?
Oh, Ingram Spark.
That doesn't help
You
me.
should
Yeah,
probably
all
take this
right.
one, John.
Go
You're going to
ahead.
give a much better answer than me.
Okay, there are two major companies in the country that distribute books to bookstores: Ingram and Baker and Taylor. Ingram Spark is the self-publishing platform for Ingram, just like KDP is the self-publishing platform for Amazon.
Right.
So Ingram will print and distribute your paperback and hardcover books to bookstores, including Amazon. So when I produce a book for Falstaff Books, I upload the ebook to Amazon. I upload a paperback book to Amazon, and I do not enable expanded distribution. So the paperback book I upload to Amazon is sold only on Amazon. Then I upload a paperback book and a hardcover book to Ingram, and those are the books that are available for sale in bookstores. Because a lot of bookstores hate Amazon so much that they will not place an order to Amazon for a book. So we saw a pretty dramatic increase in our print sales when I added Ingram Spark as one of our distribution arms. And it's the only place that does hardcovers.
There's also the added thing that when you do expanded distribution in KDP, you have to increase the price of your books. There's like there's
you'll have to increase the price of your books regardless because the stuff. That's why my print books are more expensive than yours, because Ingram still jacks you on getting the book to the bookstores at a discount. It's horrible, but you'll still have to increase the price of your book.
Yeah, but it allows me to keep it cheaper on Amazon.
Yeah. And hardcovers, because hardcovers are nice and more profitable.
Well,
Yeah, that sounds.
So that's
I
Ingram.
would like some.
We've been on our boring software kick for about 40 minutes now.
Yeah, this is the bonus action, was it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's inside baseball very much. I mean, I can't imagine how many of our listeners this is deeply interesting to, but if you are one of those people, this is fucking gold.
Yeah, for the 3 of you that give a shit.
Yeah.
they're the only ones still listening.
Yeah, we'll put the skip ahead to this part if you don't give a fuck about publishing software in the show notes.
Not a bad idea. All right, so that is enough probably software talk. Let's jingle on over and deck some halls and talk about the holidays during COVID.
Yay. Can we go back to talking about the publishing industry? It might be slightly less depressing.
I'm leaving out, instead of cookies, I'm leaving out like a can of Lysol for Santa.
We blocked up our chimney as soon as we bought the house, so fuck that fat fuck.
Fire cleanses all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously this is going to be a holiday season not quite like others. As we are recording this, I mean literally as we are recording this, a lockdown just went out for North Texas where I live, because apparently we have tripped a over percentage in like the hospitals for 7 days or something. It should happen. To be very clear about that. But yeah, so like shit's getting real because Thanksgiving has just happened for us, and so we're riding that huge ass spike. Feels pretty safe to say none of us are planning to travel for Christmas.
Nah.
Oh no, John, what are you doing?
I mean, my family is small, so there's like a dozen of us. And most of my siblings are either retired or already work from home. our points of exposure are limited to very few. So we did Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we did too. My parents and brother and sister came here. I wasn't thrilled about it, but it looks like we made it through. And then they guilted us into coming in for Christmas. But that's on the condition that I don't see any extended family or their redneck friends.
Yeah, I mean, out of my family, I see practically no one. My sister's retired. She sees practically no one. My brother and his wife retired, see practically no one. And when they do have to go out, they're super cautious because they take care of my sister-in-law's 99-year-old mother. My niece works from home. She makes great soap. Go to bellaandoliversoap.com and buy some shit because you stink. My other brother drives a garbage truck. So the funk he's around every day will kill anything else that's in the air. So I weighed
I don't know if that's something you want to gamble on.
Also, he doesn't ever see anybody
Yeah.
or talk to anyone.
I was just thinking, I was like, man, that is actually like the job right now, because you still get to be out and about and like in the fresh air, but you don't have to have other people around you because
Yeah,
they're not going to approach the garbage truck.
right. So I mean, I looked at the risks. I looked at the points among my family who it's like, okay, well, who sees people? All right, what precautions are they normally taking? It's like, okay, I'm probably in more danger going grocery shopping, which I also haven't done in 6 months. So I'll probably do that again for Christmas.
So you're going to actually travel, or are folks coming to you?
I'm going there, but it's not real travel because there's no airport involved. None of that bullshit. They live like an hour and change from me.
Oh, that's just a drive.
Yeah.
That's not like going to another state and like getting in the airport.
Yeah.
No, if there was any kind of public transit involved, I'd be like, fuck that noise, because that's a variable that I couldn't control.
Gotcha.
Because it's me in my truck driving to my sister's home. Okay.
It's me, my truck, my beers.
For reals. My 12-pack and my gun rack.
Mine's a drive too, but it's about 6.5 or 7 hours.
Jeez.
Ooh.
I'm
doing that again?
I don't have that much guilt to let somebody guilt me into that.
No, well, I wouldn't, except it was the kids and the wife. Oh, I want to see Grandpa and Grandma. Fuck.
Yeah, we know who wears the soul in your family, Bob.
Yeah, it's not me.
There's a wonderful thing called Zoom. It's just like you're there.
You're assuming that our families live places where there is internet access. Mine does not.
Honestly, for mine, I would not care in that case. I'd just be like, no.
Oh, you don't exist then. If I can't Zoom you, you have zoomed out.
Now, that's me and my siblings and spouses. The 100+ person gathering of my mother's extended family, that's right out the window. The 40+ person gathering of my wife's extended family, that shit's over. None of that is happening.
Yeah, we would normally be doing the same. My mom, I mean, it's just a huge amount of family, and everybody's coming through at various points of the day. It's sort of just like a constant stream of visitation and everything, and it's a very nice Christmas experience normally, but now picturing it, it's just like, oh God, no.
Yeah,
See,
like my mom was the oldest of 12 children. So there's over 100 first cousins. Fuck
Well, let's drift away from what we can't do this year, because Lord knows we can just go on to that forever. Let's drill down. What are we gonna do this holiday season? COVID can't take away, for example, lights, or or at least can't take away my Christmas tree because I don't have to go interact with people because my Christmas tree is fake.
Same.
Mine too, and it's already up.
Yeah, I mean, we got a real one, but it's already up.
You have a real one that's already up?
Yeah.
Is that going to make it to Christmas?
Oh, we do this every year. We get it right after
All right.
Thanksgiving. I am one of those people that I will water the shit out of it.
I've seen the pictures of your dogs.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you keep the dogs out of that?
The dogs aren't interested in it.
Huh.
They look at it and they're just like, big dumb fucking tree.
I piss on these outside.
All the lights are LEDs, not a lot of heat from there, and I mean, I keep it well watered. It's in one of those holders that you can put like 2 gallons of water in, so I fill it up every other day, and it's fine.
Nice. We have a fake one. I don't know if we'll put it up. We end up putting a tree up about every 3rd year. We're not all that fucking festive. My wife bought a Yoda Santa hat for the cat. That didn't go over well.
I can't imagine why.
We got about half our outdoor lights up already. That's I gotta get the rest of those going. I like being among the most festive houses in the neighborhood when I can.
You're Griswolding it up, huh?
Not quite that much. I don't like heights.
That's why we never did lights outside when I was growing up, because my dad was terrified of heights. So it was just never a thing that I grew up with. So we don't really do it.
It's just a tradition. You throw the lights in the middle of the yard and just turn them on where they lie.
Yeah, you put up lights the same way every year. You get the boxes down, you start untangling, your dad starts drinking. Midway through, there's cursing, and then there's just a pile of tangled lights on the lawn that's plugged in.
Oh, so you have been to my dad's house.
I think every dad from our generation was the same with Christmas lights. I shouldn't joke. My dad did Christmas really well. He makes, or probably he doesn't do it anymore. He's still alive, just not as handy. But he would make his own giant wooden displays, like a Grinch that was taller than me, and I'm 6'4" for listeners who have not gotten to come to the cons and tower and over in person. Like painted up. He would make all these like wooden sculptures for different holidays and stuff. Not many lights though. I think that was how we got around the lights. Crafty son of a bitch.
The last few years of his life, after my mom died, my dad got really into eggnog for Christmas. Because my mother never allowed booze openly in the house. And he kind of held to that even after she died. But eggnog was okay. Because it wasn't really booze. And I looked at him and I'm like, it says Evan Williams on the bottle. The fuck do you mean it's not really booze?
It's medicinal booze.
And then he gave me a jar of moonshine for Christmas. And I was like, all right.
So I love eggnog. Does he make his own? Does he buy from the store? Because I have a great eggnog recipe I can send over.
One, he died.
Oh, that's right. You used past tense. Sorry, man. Apologies.
No, it's a year and a half. It's no worries. No, and 2, fuck no, we did not let him near anything with egg in it for cooking. Jesus Christ. No, we let him buy the Evan Williams eggnog and...
Oh, I thought you meant he just had a bottle of Evan Williams he was pouring directly into an eggnog. And I was like,
no,
it's a bold move, but I like it.
Evan Williams makes eggnog.
Oh my God. That is... That's like when they make the fucking peanut butter and jelly in the same jar.
Yeah, that's just like skip all the steps, skip from point A to point Z.
The best was when he would pour a glass of the Evan Williams eggnog and then pour booze in it.
Oh, you gotta have a floater.
I'd be like, God damn, you used to drive 80,000-pound log trucks with a fucking half a pint of Crown Royal in your belly every goddamn day. There is shit our generation just cannot hang with.
Once you get a process down, you don't want to deviate. That's where mistakes happen.
He told the story about there was a liquor store that was adjacent to a convenience store. So he would go to the convenience store, buy a fountain Coke. No, you buy a cup of ice and a bottle of Coke. Then go next door, buy a pint of, I don't know, ancient age or some such shit. Pour half the pint of liquor in the cup. Top it off with half a pint of Coke. Stir it with his finger, get back in the log truck, and drive that shit down the windy-ass roads of South Carolina.
That's how I used to fly before the terrorists ruined everything.
But you weren't the pilot!
No, but it reminded me of that.
Wait, you can still drink on an airplane,
No,
Bob.
but you can't bring your own Coke and booze mixture in a bottle.
Ah, okay. You threw me for a loop for a minute there.
Yeah, because they'll either make you pay or they'll say, "Oh no, you're too drunk, sir."
We're gonna take your terrorist water from you.
That was said with the tone of someone who's heard the words, "You're too drunk, sir," before. And if you would like to see those words be uttered again, you should join us next summer in Nashville.
Yeah.
I always like flying out of places that are weed legal because then I can just eat some edibles before the airport and really enjoy my flight home.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee is not one of those places, by the way.
I still just thank goodness that I didn't pick up anything to bring home with me from A&D Con driving through fucking Kansas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would have had to driven around Kansas, buddy. There's an old David Allan Coe song about that. About driving from like Mississippi to California and on the way home bypassing all of Texas. Because
that's a big detour.
That would have been like head north to Canada, drive east, then head down.
Pretty much. The song's called Uneasy Rider. I just remembered the title. It's a great song.
I've got a Christmas decoration fantasy that all right, you guys have seen the Facebook post with the cutout nativity scene, and they say, "Oh, is this a nativity scene or is it two Tyrannosauruses fighting over a bagel or something?"
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'd like to get one of those, but with it actually like painted on with the Tyrannosaurus shit. And that's the end of my point.
We know an artist.
Yeah, we do, and I've considered this, but I'm not in a financial place to blow money on bullshit right now.
It's like, oh, what a cute nativity. Why is baby Jesus being devoured by raptors?
Well, no, it wouldn't be baby Jesus.
The raptors would be eating the bagel.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I think it would be fun to have that actually fleshed out on my lawn.
I think you should just do a standard nativity scene and just randomly insert a dinosaur.
All right, you're missing the point. That would be a different kind of fun.
So basically, you have this thing, you backlight it so people might think, oh, hey, this is such a cute nativity scene. But then when they get up close, they're like, Tyrannosaurus and a bagel.
No.
Ah.
It's just straight up the cutout, but with the with the Tyrannosauruses painted on there. So it is you kind of know what it is because you've seen the same shape before walking past normal people's houses.
I get it now.
All right. I didn't mean to kill the conversation.
No, I think we're all just
Yes.
intensely picturing this cutout.
I'm like, in my head, I'm stringing lights around the outlines of them.
Yeah, this is super committing to a meme.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it drawn out though, which is surprising because I've seen like the observation so many times.
So Rick, you are usually our big Halloween decoration guy. You are notorious for going above and beyond. How does Christmas stack up
Oh,
in the outdoor decorating hierarchy?
I mean, we're done. We're done for right now. I mean, we got a couple. We're not one of those insane families that like they somehow go out there and they outline every branch of every tree in the yard. And I look at them just like I don't have. I'm like I would sooner just chainsaw my yard than do that. But I mean, my wife is decorated. We got some inflatables out there. We got some lights and stuff. I mean, looks fine.
Gail Martin has like a 10-foot tall snowman that she blows up in her front yard.
We had that last year, and apparently we put it away in our garage, and apparently mice ate through its face.
So now you have a ball of duct tape out in your
Yeah,
yard.
no, it's kind of hard. Once something eats through one of those things' faces, it's kind of hard to make it airtight again.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a problem.
Too bad. It'd be great for Halloween.
Because I did kind of like it because I used to like that was kind of like it was like 9 feet tall or so, and that was kind of my thing of like, okay, so if this thing was a Sasquatch, that's how big it would be to just utterly break me in two.
I feel like giant snowman with the face ripped off has its own appeal in the right setting.
Well, we really wanted to get one of those 15-foot tall skeletons they were selling at Home Depot.
Oh fuck
Because
yeah!
I'm going to tell you right now, that would have been up all year long, and we would have just put a Santa hat on that shit.
Yeah.
Put a shamrock in his hand for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that would have been
Oh
that
my
would have been that
God.
would have been a year round thing because that thing was one awesome and two way too big to put in my garage.
Hell yes.
Yeah, that's another one of those, you're committed. You buy a 15-foot tall skeleton, you're committed.
I'm just hoping that Home Depot realizes their mistake next year and actually produces more of that. Because I think they
Yeah,
put together almost this
fucking-
joke saying nobody's going to want this. And then they were kind of caught by surprise going, well, damn.
They were gone. Like the minute I knew about them, they were long gone.
Yeah.
Kudos to everybody out there who was just super on that ball.
I'm
Oh,
definitely
fun
jealous.
outdoor decoration thing from this year is these little ornaments that are solar powered, and you hang them in trees, and then they kind of charge up through the day, and then at nighttime they have these. They look like little, like tree bulbs, but they change
Huh.
lights and everything for a few hours.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, real great, and obviously low maintenance because again, solar.
That's the kind of thing I like, where I don't have to run 150 feet of wire around my house.
I bought a smart outdoor safe multi-plug a few Halloweens ago, and man, you feel a little bit ridiculous buying something like that, but it has made my life so much easier. I just schedule all my decorations on timer. If I forget or I'm like, oh, I need to turn it on, I can do it from wherever I am. I have so many years beforehand forgotten to turn my stupid decorations off constantly and then eaten it on the electricity bill at the end of the month.
Yeah, we have ours on a timer, so it's like 6 o'clock it goes on, 6 o'clock it goes off.
That's a very short window of light.
Well, once again, Halloween guy here.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like there's your 12 seconds of Christmas cheer.
Fucker.
It's gonna slowly play Deck the Halls, but just over the whole month, one note at a time.
That would be committing.
Watching it would be committing too. Jesus.
I don't know. I think Christmas decorations, especially this year, it's like they serve that dual purpose of trying to be festive, but also lighting up your front lawn to keep keep weirdos off of it.
I finally found those lights that Drew was talking about. Like, ooh, I want to order these now.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They're not cheap.
I feel like that might be a little bit more of just a you thing, Rick.
You know what it is? You know what it is? We've been getting a lot of notifications on things like those neighborhood websites with people breaking in the cars and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, it's like hey, it's Frosty the Snowman with a built-in mini cam to keep an eye on you fucks.
Yeah, Faceless Frosty is really starting to seem like a good fit for the lawn now.
This is you if you come here.
Just take a different inflatable and cut its face off, and then tape that over the Frosty face, and so now it's really fucked up.
Now it's Hannibal Frosty.
Looks like you carved an elf's face off and threw it in a snowman.
This shit got dark quick.
Who's a dentist now, motherfucker? Oh, there's one. Is anybody gonna watch any of the Rankin Bass specials?
I don't know what
No.
that is.
You probably do. They are very saturated throughout the media landscape during this time. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Oh,
Reindeer,
all right.
Santa Claus, all that weird, slightly creepy claymation stuff.
Yeah, okay, I know what you're saying.
That's Rankin Bass.
If it's on, I might not change the channel. I don't know.
I like some of them.
I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch that.
Look, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is kind of played out. I'll probably watch it because it's just a holiday classic at this point. But like some of those are fucking weird in a kind of a fun way. Like the Origin of Santa Claus one where he has to contend with a winter wizard who's an asshole are bizarre in a fun way.
Is that what the friends called me Heatmeister one?
No,
Oh.
that's The Year Without a Santa Claus. I love that one just for that fucking song. Oh, it's in my head now. Fuck you, Rick.
You're welcome. Yeah, because I was okay. I remember the first Santa Claus one, and yeah, I thought that was kind of not good.
I didn't say they were good. I said they were weird, and I feel I can back that up. What are some holiday, I don't know, TV show, movies, like just traditions in your family?
We've already done Elf, and we've done Christmas Story, and we haven't done Christmas Vacation yet, but that's on the list soon. If after the kids go to bed, my wife and I will probably watch Bad Santa. Not Bad Santa 2 though, because that fucking sucked.
I never saw it. It looked bad.
Yeah, how could you fuck that up? Especially like by adding Kathy Bates.
Oh, Kathy Bates is in that?
Yeah, it just sucks.
That would make me want to see it more under different contexts.
Right? Yeah. But
What? I'm going to ask you about what is the plot of Bad Santa 2?
I don't know. It's been a couple of years. It's shittiness happens.
All right.
It's not funny.
Oh, so 2020.
Oof. All right. Anybody else got movie tradition?
Yeah.
No,
We don't really. But it seems like a good idea, and maybe I'll start one.
I don't foresee myself doing that.
I think it's fun to have like a few repeats. Elf is a pretty frequent one. That seems to be the only like semi-recent movie to make that jump.
I mean,
it
Bad Santa
lasted
1
2
was great. I
decades.
mean, not something you want to watch with the kids, but
Right, but I'm talking
fantastic.
about like a whole
Oh.
family movie. Like I'm trying to think of. So yeah, Elf is in there. I do love to watch a bunch of the old Rankin Bass ones. I don't know. I was a cable kid growing up, and so the changing of the seasons for me was as much about the random Christmas specials on TV as it was, leaves and snow and stuff. So it just sort of taps into my childhood nostalgia. I think I've touched on this in a different episode, but in my mom's side of the family, historically they would always watch White Christmas on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, the Bing Crosby movie.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
Yeah, I've upheld that to an extent here and there, but it's definitely not one I'm gonna keep with me by any stretch of the imagination, because it has not aged as bad as you would think for a movie from that period, but parts that have not aged well have really not aged well.
Yeah.
And again, not many really. Like you'd expect worse.
Now, is
but
there a
that's not
movie that
saying-
is White Christmas, or are you talking about Holiday Inn?
I'm talking about the movie White Christmas.
Okay. Because there's another movie called Holiday Inn that White Christmas was originally in as well. And that one has aged really fucking badly. Really badly.
No. This is just like it's Bing Crosby and Danny Zuko, and they're going to a lodge run by their old colonel, and it doesn't have snow, and they're trying to find a way to save the lodge before Christmas.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no. Holiday Inn, I think, is the one that has the blackface minstrel number.
Yeah, that would weirdly that lines up. There's one of the parts that has very much not aged well is there's an entire song in White Christmas dedicated to how much the characters miss minstrel shows.
That might be the song I'm thinking about, but
Nobody wears that in these
Oh, okay.
that I have ever seen. Like, it's a song about the concepts, but
Oh, no.
yeah,
No.
I would have thrown a much different flag on the play
Yeah,
for
no.
that.
Okay, then no. I am thinking about the different movie, and yeah, it's not. No.
Yeah. Now,
No
granted,
bueno.
again, as I said, that song has aged real bad. But that there is a level left to go.
And they got there, too.
I apparently John found a different movie that just felt it hadn't gone far enough. So yeah, White Christmas is probably not going to stay in my rotation as an adult. That was one of my families growing up, but you know what?
Times change.
Times change.
Yep.
I think I'm going to sub in Elf.
We've also got Die Hard. A couple years ago, I
Yeah.
started the kids on that, and they, oh, sweethearts, they're still not happy about the language in it. You know, when I was their age,
Wait, what?
that would have been the appeal.
Yeah.
But I can't believe you're making us watch this. Did you hear what he
Father, we
said?
don't like that language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Man, your kids are such good people, Bob.
Well, yeah,
They
because
so take after
I'm
your wife.
currently wearing my own design hoodie that says chaotic neutral because fuck you. And as soon as I walked down the stairs, Jack pointed to it and said F word. He
Yep.
has to hold me accountable. I don't actually
And
swear
you're
in front
like-
of the kids. I'll occasionally wear a shirt that does, but
You looked at your kid and you're like, yeah, I know exactly how to spell that one, pal.
It's like, just remember, see these four walls around you? The F word
Yeah.
paid for them.
Brought to you by Dick Jokes.
That food in your mouth, this word.
Well, I guess our only real holiday tradition is I have to play the greatest Christmas song of all time at some point this month, which is Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues.
Yeah, you mentioned that on our last one and got a lot of people who were very much of agreement with you. So it seems like you struck a chord on that one.
If you don't know the song, you should look it up. There's even a great video that has a young Rob Lowe in the video as it tells the story of the song. It's fantastic.
I don't think I know that song. And I'm not going to look it up either.
You would absolutely appreciate it, given your geography. It's very much a New York, New Jersey song.
So I did realize, actually, I do have another tradition, and it's another movie. And in fact, I'm not the only one here who has it. Because for the past 2 years, several of us have watched Santa's Sleigh, the Bill Goldberg movie in which he goes around killing a bunch of people. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably going to put it on the Discord to watch again this year at some point.
I don't think I've seen it yet.
Fuck you. What?
Yeah, I've still never seen that movie.
Yeah, all right. I'm definitely going to throw it on the Discord again this year, and we will
All
take
right.
a gander. Probably won't end up as an ATM, but it's fun to watch with you guys.
Unless we lose the file.
As it probably won't end up. Oh man. Yeah, that's because like we watched it that first year, we had a ton of fun. The next year I was like, what the hell? You guys want to just throw this on? Oh, that's a movie that is very us.
I can believe it.
Lots of wanton bad killing and terrible jokes.
Oh yeah, that's us.
Oh, John, you'll appreciate this as a wrestling aficionado. This is the movie where Bill Goldberg met his wife.
Huh. Cool.
And when we get to watching it with you, I will point out the exact scene in which that happens, and you will understand why this is a humorous anecdote.
Then I will not look up who Bill Goldberg's wife is. I will wait.
I mean, she's an actress,
I
presumably.
believe it.
Yes, but the scene setting was, well, I'll
Nope.
tell you this much.
Nah, let me go in cold.
All right, cold it is.
And if you guys want to find out about Bill Goldberg meeting his wife, you'll have to watch the fucking movie with us.
Yeah, and you can go do that right now because our Santa Sleigh at the Movies is out from behind the paywall. It's one of our sample episodes on the General Authors and Dragons SoundCloud stream thing, internet.
Although,
Oh,
if
God,
you want to
I'm
watch it on Channel A&D, this year with folks, you should check out the Patreon.
Indeed. That's how you get the current content. Like our Tournament of Tinsel that we're doing. We just did a Christmas Prince last weekend, one that we have had people wanting us to do for a while, and we finally paid off. We drank a lot to Aldovia.
I heard something about that movie that made me sad that I missed it.
Well, Bob, we could get drunk and watch it later.
Yeah.
The Christmas
It's on
Prince's, and I heard in the closing credits, you found out the Christmas Prince's middle name was Bevan.
Yeah, forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh.
He was a secret Bevan all along. It did explain why he bashed those wolves' head in with a log on a handle.
The Prince of Fucklandia.
Wait, seriously? What?
No.
All right.
I was sitting here thinking,
Shit.
shit, now I do kind of want to see it.
That would be such an amazing movie if it was exactly the same, except during that wolf scare scene, he just bloodily bashes their heads.
Wolves?
Oh.
Have you met the Can Crusher?
This is why no one fucks with Aldovia. Oh, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed on the Discord, but we might have opened a can of worms because people have started requesting the Princess Switch.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but it's Christmas, it's Netflix, and it's in the same canonical universe as A Christmas Prince.
I still want to do Kirk Cameron Saves Christmas.
What?
Wait, does it involve how? What?
Have you not heard of this?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
I've seen some. I haven't seen it, so I can't vouch for it. So I'm a little scared, but I'm willing to risk my reputation. I've seen some YouTube videos about it.
Okay, Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas.
All right, whatever.
Very
Oh.
different context. Okay.
How is that a
fits
different
more with
context?
the-
Because
Saves
one is Kirk
Christmas.
Cameron being a fucking Bible thumper again, and the other is Kirk Cameron riding in on a sleigh.
Yeah, Saves Christmas implies someone's threatening Santa, shit's going down, Kiss or Kirk Cameron or the Wonder Twins have to help. Saving Christmas is more of a douchebag.
I don't see the difference. It all sounds pretty douchebag to me, which is why
I'm pretty sure either way it's pretty cringeworthy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This might be Werewolves of the Third Reich territory.
I can't imagine.
0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's
What?
It won the worst picture from the Razzies for its year. It became the lowest rated film on the IMDb bottom 100 within 1 month of its theatrical release.
I'm willing to die on this hill.
Cameron blamed atheists for the film's poor reception.
Yes.
Cameron also won the Razzie that year.
Yeah, it won several Razzies.
Oh my god. Cameron won worst on-screen combo for Kirk Cameron and his ego. And apparently it's on Hulu.
Hang on, he's trying to state that Santa is a Christian and he's mad about people who have tried to quote unquote tie the holiday to its pagan traditions. Hey, you mean the history of Christmas?
Oh, Lord.
Oh man. Oh, fuck this guy in the ear. Oh.
And apparently there's a character named Christian.
Oh god.
Oh, his brother-in-law is Christian.
Ah, of course. Didn't he ruin Growing Pains too?
Oh,
Yeah, he absolutely did.
Yeah, I remember that. He got the actress who played his girlfriend fired or drove her off or something like that.
Yeah, I think he got her fired.
Yeah, it was fucked up. We'll find something more fun than that for our next
Fuck
episode.
that. That's my pick.
Well, bad news, buddy. Tournament of Tinsel. The guests make the picks.
Oh, well, guess
Well,
make your voices heard.
If you can coerce a guest into it, we don't have any recourse.
If that entire discussion we just had does not coerce them, then all right, I surrender.
It's not like a communal them, Bob. Like they're individual people. You have to find.
Hey,
the
no,
person.
I'm just saying, if we don't get waves and waves of people saying, "Oh God, you guys have to do this," then okay, I was wrong.
All right, Bob is putting it in the hands of the fan.
Lord.
Good Lord, we were on the topic of Christmas movies,
Exactly.
I think.
All right.
We
We've
went
been
down a
rolling
Kirk
for
Cameron
almost
hole.
2 hours.
Yeah, fair enough. Probably about.
I
Time
mean,
to wrap it
that
up.
fucking publishing software was riveting.
Much like growing pains in his own career, Kirk Cameron has put another thing into the grave.
You mean this episode of SideQuest?
Exactly that. Oh, thank you all for joining us. We hope you are having a happy and safe holiday season out there. We'll be back next week with a regular episode of Authors and Dragons. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye.